Good evening. Tonight's radio show is a very sensitive subject. The subjects I talk about will be backed up by concrete facts and evidence. Anyone who is opposed to truth and objectivity should turn off their television set. Tonight's radio show will be talking about the First Amendment, freedom of speech, especially freedom of speech on college campuses. It's become a heavy subject lately, but as a truthful journalist, it is a subject I cannot ignore. From the Constitution itself, the First Amendment reads that Congress shall make no law restricting establishment of religion or prohibiting the free exercise thereof, or abridging the freedom of speech, or of the press, or the right of the people peacefully to assemble, and to petition the government for a redress of grievances. When the Founding Fathers introduced this First Amendment, they knew that it would be a constant struggle to maintain this American value. Since the formation of this amendment, free speech has been called into question many times, for example, with Senator McCarthy. Senator McCarthy ushered in a new and terrifying era of U.S. history, blatantly making accusations with no regard for evidence or facts. He accused fellow congressmen, important political figures, and members of the public to support and belong to the Communist Party. During the Cold War, this was especially harmful to the victims of his slander. People on the other side of his onslaught of viciousness lost their jobs and their homes. However, in the hot political climate of the 50s, nobody wanted to stand up against Senator McCarthy in fear of him taking down them as well. A new issue has popped up in the 21st century America. A new wave of McCarthyism, one could even say. This issue exists on college campuses all over the country in the form of protesting. This problem manifested itself from controversial speakers who would come to said college to deliver a speech. Then, students protest these speakers, claiming the speaker promotes hate speech and prejudice. These speakers are often particularly right-leaning. These protests have gathered national attention on the question of whether college campuses were shutting out politically unpopular points of view. Are these speakers actually promoting hateful rhetoric, or just an unpopular political opinion? And are these students protecting their peers from harmful prejudice or restricting free speech of individuals? And by protesting these college speakers, are the students themselves taking advantage of the First Amendment or directly fighting against it? An argument can be made that limiting the speakers on the campus is a direct attack against free speech, a termination of discussion. Lieutenant Governor of North Carolina, Dan Forest, says that if you want to shut down the discussion, that's called communism. This onslaught between politicians, college speakers, and students started around 2013. These protesting students have been called weak, coddled, and squeamish millennials. More left-leaning students say hate speech is not protected speech. Although, there is a problem with that belief. The First Amendment protects all speech, regardless of how offensive it is. However, should offensive speech really be sanctioned to be spread by a college? And are these speakers truly trying to spread disrespectful hate, or just their uncommon political beliefs? Many of these questions have not been answered, and most of them seem downright impossible to answer right now. One thing we know is this issue is far from over. Good night, and good luck.